Welcome to Emovora Audiobooks, your home for original Outback fiction. The setting is Broken Hill, the Silver City, built on 100 years of mining, where everybody seems to know everybody's business. Except, it turns out, the one thing that mattered most. This is the Long Paddock. Broken Hill calls itself the Silver City, built on 100 years of mining that carved the earth into slag heaps and left the town with a strange, proud toughness. It's a place where everyone seems to know everyone, and where, as Detective Senior Constable Alan Whitmarsh liked to say, secrets have a shorter shelf life than milk in December. He was wrong, at least once. The line of load. The body was found by two teenagers exploring the old mine workings along the line of load that runs through the middle of town. Ground so riddled with old shafts that half of Broken Hill is fenced off as unstable. The dead man was identified as Glenn Pittaway, 41, a former mine worker who'd been unemployed since a downturn hit the local operations 2 years earlier. Cause of death, a single stab wound. Time of death, roughly 36 hours before discovery. Alan Whitmarsh had grown up 3 streets from where Glenn Pittaway's body was found. He'd gone to school with Glenn's younger brother. In Broken Hill, that kind of proximity was both an advantage and a burden. The investigation begins. Glenn's ex-wife, Donna, told Alan what everyone in town already half suspected. Glenn had fallen in with a rough crowd after losing his job. He started disappearing for days, came back with cash, but no explanation. I told him I didn't want that near the kids. The rough crowd, it turned out, centered around a bloke named Reese Cudlip, who ran a mechanic's garage on the edge of town, a garage that, on paper, seemed to service far more vehicles than its modest signage and customer base could explain. Alan had heard whispers for over a year that Cudlip's garage was a waypoint for drugs moving between Adelaide and Sydney, using the long, empty stretch of the Barrier Highway as a corridor, precisely because it was so unremarkable. Broken Hill wasn't a destination. It was a place you passed through, which made it perfect for people who didn't want to be noticed. Glenn's role, piecing together phone records, garage receipts, and reluctant statements from former mine mates, Alan built a picture. Glenn Pittaway had been recruited as a driver, running product hidden in modified fuel tanks between Broken Hill and pickup points further along the highway. It paid better than mining ever had. But 3 weeks before his death, a shipment had gone missing, and Glenn was the last person confirmed to have handled that particular vehicle. 15 grand of product, said a source inside the operation, a young woman named Kayla, who agreed to talk only after Alan guaranteed her protection. Reese doesn't lose money quiet. He was furious, said Glenn better find it or replace it. Did Glenn take it? Kayla shook her head. I don't think so. I think Glenn got cold feet and tipped someone off. Not police, just someone who owed him a favor. Someone who intercepted the shipment to sell it themselves. Glenn panicked when he realized Reese would blame him regardless. Closing the net, the forensic evidence eventually aligned. Reese Cudlip was convicted of murder, and the investigation that followed dismantled a significant portion of the trafficking route running through the Barrier Highway corridor. Glenn Pittaway's death became, locally, a quiet, cautionary tale. Not of a bad man, people said, but of a good man, caught in a current stronger than he expected, in a town where jobs were scarce, and second chances scarcer still. Alan Whitmarsh still walks past the line of load most mornings on his way to the station. He says the Silver City taught him something the mining company brochures never mention. Some of what this town dug out of the ground, was never ore at all. Sometimes it was just trouble, waiting to be uncovered. Thank you for listening to The Long Paddock here on Emavura Audiobooks. If this story kept you hooked, please subscribe and share it with someone who loves a good mystery. Coming up next, the Gold Town of Kalgoorlie, Western Australia, where a quiet mining camp hides a much darker secret in dust and diesel. Until then, take care.